Daytona is not a race. As I've always said, if you had to pick one race to go to, and that's all you could do, you make it the Daytona 500. And the reason you do is because even though it starts the year, people say, well, why do they have the biggest race in the beginning of the year? Why don't they have it at the end of the year? Because of the tradition and history here. My first experience with Daytona was in 1964 when a friend of mine from New Orleans just decided on the spur of the moment to go to Daytona. I didn't know much about it. We had just read they were going to have the race that weekend, and so we left, drove straight, about a 12, 13-hour drive, got here on Saturday night, spent the night in the infield, sleeping in the car. One of us slept in the back seat, the other slept in the trunk. That's what you had to do those days. Didn't sleep much that night because there were so many parties going on and bonfires. We just went from party to party. People shared food with us, shared drink with us. It was a lot of camaraderie at the time. Then, of course, in the morning, everything cranked up. You could hear the motors cranking up. There was so much activity. And then people would stand on their cars, and then you could pretty much see most of the whole track if you could stand on your car. So we spent that day, and then drove home on Sunday night, and had to go to work on Monday morning. But that's back when we could do that, because we were a lot younger then. That was 53 years ago. But I did get back here in 1966 for the Daytona 500. Saw the race, did basically the same thing, and Richard Petty won the race. So naturally, I'm all, excited and everything. So when Richard Petty pulled in, in his 66 Plymouth, we went over to the winner's circle. Look, we weren't special. We had just paid very little to get into the infield and $1 extra to get in what they call the paddock area or something like that. Walked into the winner's circle and stood as Richard Petty pulled his car up no further than about 8 feet away from the car. Oh, I was like on cloud 9. It was fantastic because, of course, by then he became my favorite driver and had gone to a couple of races and seen that. So I was feeling just elated, jumping up and down almost. It was, great elation. I was 22 years old, and, it was like the best thing in the world happened. And so that's what I experienced. This past year, we bought the passes to go into the area on the track, and I took my grandson and his father down here, and we actually saw the concert by, I think, Florida Georgia Line was there. It was great. It was absolutely great. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Being here and being a part of it, it becomes you become it. It's not going to a race. You are experiencing the whole effect of Daytona. And of course, over the years, it's gotten even bigger and bigger and bigger.